Hey guys, how are you? I'm Chef Deepanshu and welcome to our Eggless Live Baking Workshop. So today we are gonna make eggless rum balls. So before starting with the recipe, it's a very simple recipe and we'll be making in a quick time. So first, before starting with the recipe, I'll just want you to give me a thumbs up if the audio and video is clear. Then we'll start with the recipe. So just give me a thumbs up. Till then, I'll get my bowl ready and then we'll start. Okay, since everything is clear, so first thing is that the recipe PDF for this recipe is basically in the description box, so you can get it from there. You can open the recipe PDF with you, so that when you are actually when I'm making the recipe, you can see the quantities also, and you can see what I'm putting inside the recipe, right? So first in this recipe there are many elements. So first we are going to start with the sponge. So for the sponge, we are going to first take the liquid ingredients in the bowl, and then we are going to take the dry ingredients, and then we are going to mix them together, right? So first starting with that. Now in the liquid ingredients, we are also putting the sugar. So we are using two types of sugar. One is the brown sugar and one is the normal caster sugar. So first we'll sieve it. So sieving the caster sugar is very important because there might be any lumps, and also in the brown sugar there are many lumps because of the molasses present. It is a bit sticky, so that's why we want to sieve it. So as you can also see, it was in the kind of a lump. So first we'll sieve that and then we'll add the liquid ingredients to it. All right, the next ingredient that I'm putting is the buttermilk. The buttermilk basically it is like we have taken the milk and we have added vinegar to it. So it is mentioned in the recipe you have to add 1 tsp of vinegar, apple cider vinegar I'm using here. So you just have to put inside the milk and you have to let it rest for at least 2 to 3 minutes before using. So I have already put the vinegar in this. Now I'm putting the buttermilk in my recipe. Right. Next we have the curd. Next is the vanilla essence. Now in the recipe there is instant coffee and water. So first you have to mix the instant coffee in the water and then add this water to the recipe. So first I'll add this.
Chef Ashima is asking, can we use a normal vinegar?
Ashima, you can use the normal vinegar, but it is not recommended. That it can, give a very strong flavor. So I wouldn't recommend it. But if you don't have apple cider vinegar, just reduce the quantity of the normal vinegar a bit, and then you can use it. So I'm adding the instant coffee to the water first. Just give it a mix so that the coffee dissolves properly. So it's a normal water, it's not warm water. Next, we'll add the melted butter. So this is salted butter. Now we just have to mix this. Mix it properly so that everything is incorporated properly and the sugar is almost melted. It won't be 100% melted, but just give it a stir. Right, when everything is mixed together, we'll then move on to our dry ingredients. So I'll just put this on the side. Now we'll sieve our dry ingredients together. First, we have the flour. This is normal refined flour. Next we have the cocoa powder. Corn flour. Some salt. Baking soda. And baking powder. So we have taken everything together. We'll just sift it. Now we have to mix the two quantities together. Now I've taken the liquid ingredients. We'll gradually add it to the dry ingredients. First we'll add only the half so that there's no lump formation. Mix this properly so that it is incorporated. So this will be a thick batter, not a very smooth, not a very liquidy batter. It would be smooth, but a thick batter. Right? So we'll add the rest of the liquid ingredient. Once you see that it is incorporated, then we'll add the rest of the liquid ingredient.
So what will be the shelf life of rum balls?
These rum balls can be stored for a longer period of time in the fridge. You can easily store them for 2 to 3 weeks as well, because it doesn't contain any such ingredient which will, go bad, as it is, you have alcohol in it as well, so it won't go bad. You can keep it inside the fridge. Just see that you are keeping it properly, then only you can store it for a longer time. We'll stir it properly so that everything is incorporated together. There are no lumps as well. So till the time we are mixing it, so basically when we'll be baking this in a round 6-inch tin. So it is almost incorporated. If you feel there are lumps in the batter, just rub it against the wall of the bowl and they will be gone. Right, so they are just some minute lumps. I'll just break them and then we are good to go. Right, as you can see, it is a thick batter, not a very flowy one. Right, so we'll put this inside a tin. So I'll just keep this on the side for a second. Now I'm using a 6-inch round tin. There's a butter paper, so we'll be putting one butter paper on the bottom. So first, what we have to do, we have to grease this.
Can we make this rum ball with any other sponge that we taught earlier?
Yes, if you have any other recipe for the sponge, you can use that sponge as well. Basically, we'll be making a ganache mixture and the rum mixture as well. So you can use that with the other sponge that you have. That can easily be done, right? So for that, now we are gonna do the greasing. Not too much. Just some on the bottom and some on the side. Right, we'll put the butter paper on the bottom. Right, now we'll pour the batter inside the tin. Okay, when you have put the batter, just make it a bit, flatten it a bit so that it rises evenly.
So can we grease the tin with oil and flour?
There's no need of flour, basically, just oil is okay. Right, so now we are gonna put this for baking. So this is gonna be baked at 140, 180 degree Celsius at in the OTG. So the lower rod only be working. We won't be baking at the preheating mode. So make sure when you put it inside the oven, you are only using the lower rod mode. So after baking this, then we are gonna do the next step. So guys, right now I would like to just tell you about our workshop, upcoming workshop that we have at next weekend. So that is the Christmas workshop that I'll be holding. So I'll just like to show you the promo for it. Till then, I'll just ready my next ingredients for the next recipe, and then we'll move forward. Okay, so I hope you like the promo. I'll just tell you a bit about the workshop that we are having. Basically, everything you saw is eggless. Yes, you heard it right. Everything is eggless. The Swiss roll, the panettone, the dundee cake, everything is eggless. So you'll be learning all the recipes, and I'll be teaching you some techniques that you won't be learning from anywhere else, or just the free videos that we get. Right, so the techniques that actually we follow in the Swiss roll, the making the eggless panettone is actually a very difficult task. So we'll be learning all that. So I hope you like the promo, and we'll be once more seeing towards the end. We'll see that promo, and now we'll be starting with the rest of the elements that we have. Now, first thing that we have to make is the ganache for the rum balls that we are gonna make. So first, I'll take the melted chocolate. So this is dark Cavircho chocolate. It has already been melted, so you won't have to check a specific temperature. You just have to melt it properly so that there are no lumps, right? Okay, I'll take the chocolate first. Okay, right now the chocolate, because of the environment, the temperature, it has a bit thickened. I'll just melt it once more.
For how much time should we will bake the sponge?
The sponge will be baked for around 15 to 20 minutes. After 20 minutes or after 15 minutes, you can just check with a toothpick inserted in the center of the sponge. If it comes clear, it is baked. So as I already have a sponge ready with me, because it's gonna take time, and when it is hot you cannot use that sponge as such. So I already have one sponge with me. First, what you have to do when it is baked, then you have to put it in for cooling at the room temperature or in the fridge. Once it is cooled down properly, then only you can use that. Otherwise, you will feel it is raw from inside. You will feel it is unbaked. So you have to let it set first at room temperature. Then only you can use it. Right. So first, I'll add the cream in my bowl. Now the melted chocolate. Right, so here we are making the actually a spice ganache. So we are gonna add allspice to it. Allspice is basically the mixture of some spices. It is already in your recipe cards. So you can see that I'm just gonna add it right now. So this is the allspice mixture. Basically, we have just taken all the spices. You just have to roast it for 2 to 3 minutes, either on the pan or on in the OTG, and then you have to grind it to a fine powder. That's it. So this is just to give a flavor. If you want to skip this, you can. We'll just mix it properly. You have to mix it till it is properly incorporated, the cream is incorporated, and we have an homogeneous mixture. Right, so you can see the cream has been incorporated in the chocolate. So it is important to actually warm the cream and the chocolate should be melted so that we get a proper homogeneous mixture. Otherwise, there can be a bit of lumps of cream. Okay, so this is done. I'm just gonna keep it on the side and then we'll move on to the next element. Okay, so the next element that we have is the rum syrup. So if you don't want to make a syrup as such, you can just use undiluted rum. That is also an option. But if you want a bit sweet flavor in the syrup, you can use the recipe that we are using. Okay, so first we are taking the dark rum. Some water and some castor sugar. So I'm just gonna give this a stir so that the sugar melts. So just stir it for 1 or 2 minutes. The sugar will melt in this. Otherwise, there can be, the crumbs of the sugar. Okay, so this is done. Now we'll start by soaking the sponge that we have already with me. So first we are gonna cut the sponge in half. So there is no need for an even layer here because we just have to soak it and make it crumbly. So it doesn't matter if it is not even or not. Right, so we'll start the soaking. So here two things can be done. Either you can soak it at this point and then you can put it in the bowl, or what you can do, you can just crumple it first, make the crumbs, then add the rum syrup. So both are fine. Whatever you like to do, you can do that. So there is no compulsion on that, right? So first we'll soak it right like this only. So remember, we have to use all the syrup. Right, so I have some left. I'll be using in the bowl only. So first I'll be just using a spatula to break this down. You can do this with your hands as well. That is totally fine. Right, once you have make the crumble, then we'll add rest of the syrup. We'll just give it a mix. So we want to make this a sticky paste kind of thing. Right, once the syrup is properly mixed, then we'll add the ganache. Right, it is properly mixed now. I'll add some, I'll just add around 70 to 80% of the ganache. Some, you can keep so that if you want to drizzle later on the top, you can do that. If you want to brush it with ganache, that also you can do. Okay, so this is done. As you can see, it is a pasty mixture. It is not very crumbly, so it is easy to actually form these into balls because the crumbs are not there. Because if the major crumbs are there, the balls will break. So we don't want any cracks on the balls. That's why we are making such a paste. Right. So right now this is sticky, so I'm just keeping this in the freezer for 5 minutes. Till then, we'll make the next element. Okay, so our next element is for the decoration. Now for the decoration, when you have made the rum balls, it is not necessary to obviously decorate like this. You can either dip it in the chocolate, or you can just drizzle it, or you can just consume it like that only. That is up to you how you want to decorate it, how you actually want the flavor to be on the top. So that is up to you. Now for right now, what we are doing, we are actually taking desiccated coconut. We are adding a bit of color to it, powder color to it, and just a bit of gold and silver dust. Right, so I'm adding desiccated coconut. To one part, we are going to add the green color. So this is powder color. To other part, we are going to add the red color, because these are the colors of the Christmas. That's why we are adding these. Give it a mix. Just give it a stir so that everything is mixed properly. The color is mixed with the desiccated coconut. If you want to, see some white, a white desiccated coconut on the top, you can just, what you can do, you can just mix it a little bit less so that you can also see the white part, and then you can coat it.
Can we use a liquid colors?
Using liquid color is not recommended, because if you add the liquid colors, what will happen that it can turn into a paste, or it won't be it won't be possible to actually coat the balls with it. So that's why we are using the powder color, so that we can coat the rum balls properly. Right, so it is mixed. To this, I'm just gonna add some silver dust and some gold dust. So you can add any dust to the any color, so that is up to you. There's no compulsion. I just mix this. The silver dust is just to give it a shine, nothing else. If you can totally skip it. Alright, so our colors are ready. So what we'll do right now, before making the rum balls, we're just gonna take a small break. You can see the promo once again, and you can, those who have joined later, those who have joined the workshop later, you can see what we are making in the Christmas workshop, what we are making next weekend. So it would be a 2-day workshop, and you'll be learning around 5 to 6 things, and you'll be making a gingerbread church, so you can decorate your bakery or your house with that as well. So I'll just we'll just play the promo. You can see that, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, welcome back, guys. So I hope you liked the promo and you saw what we are what we'll be making in the Christmas workshop, right? So this is the mixture that we made and the mixture that I already had. So this is a bit stable mixture. So if you are feeling your mixture a bit sticky, what you can do, just let it stay in the fridge or the freezer for some time, so that it is stable, it is not sticky, and then you can start making the balls, right? So here I have a weighing scale. So we'll be measuring 25 grams ball. This is again optional. What you can, I change the size of that. That is up to you. Right? So just measure it. So in your palms, you just have to flatten it and smoothen it first. Then in the palm, just roll it. Okay, if you feel there are cracks, you can just press it a bit so that the cracks are gone, and then you can start rolling it again. Okay, like this. I'm just gonna make 2, 3 more. Just properly press it so that there are no cracks, because sometimes if the mixture is too too cold, then then also the cracks can come. So you can either make bigger ones or smaller ones, up to you. So I'll make few more so that we have some of the both colors. So guys, I would like to see you guys making this, and you can tag Truthful Nation when you make it so that I can also see and we can see what how you guys are making it, and we'll be happy to repost that as well on our page. Right, so the last one, just flatten it between your palms and then you can roll it. So there will be minimal cracks. And when you are making the paste of the sponge, if you feel that you can easily roll it at that point of time, that is also fine. So there is no need to actually put it inside the freezer or the fridge if you are able to roll it. Sometimes it can be sticky, otherwise you can do it. Okay, so here first I have some melted dark chocolate. So basically I'm just gonna brush the balls with this so that it is easy to stick the coconut, the mixture that we have made on it. Otherwise, as it is cold, the mixture might not stick to the balls properly. So I'm just gonna take some chocolate. At this point, you can use the ganache also that we have. So you don't have to coat it properly as such. You just have to give it a layer, then put inside the coconut and roll it. Like this. You just have to keep on brushing it. You don't have to actually keep the balls after brushing the chocolate because it might get solid. So once you brush it, then only coat it first and then do the next one. Because the chocolate can get solid and then the crumbs won't stick to it. Okay, not too much, just a bit. So just the second last one, and then we are done. Okay, just I'm giving a little bit of coat, not too much. So you can actually coat it with white desiccated coconut or just castor sugar, as you may wish. You can just drip some chocolate over it, just the melted chocolate over it, or you can dip it in the chocolate and make it like truffles as well.
Saad is asking, don't we have to completely coat with chocolate?
It is not it is not compulsory. So basically, if you completely coat it with chocolate or you just dip it in the chocolate, it would be a truffle. So we don't want that. We just want the chocolate actually that much chocolate so that the crumbs can actually the desiccated coconut can stick to it. So it is totally your choice. Basically, there is no specific quantity for that. You just need so that you can easily stick it. If you want to dip it, as I said, if you want to dip it inside the chocolate, that you can do. So you can just melt the chocolate, make sure that the rum balls are actually very cold. It should be inside the freezer before dipping. You take it out from the freezer, dip it in the chocolate, and put it on the tray. So that would be rum ball truffle basically. So I'll just keep this on the side.
Joseph is saying it looks yummy.
Thank you, Joseph. I'm sure I have some people in the studio who are actually, just want to eat this. So I'll just take a minute. Okay, guys, so this is it with the rum balls. So these are the rum balls that we made, and you can try different versions of it as we try to decorate it differently, so that we can see how you are doing it, right? So we can you can actually make it like this. So you can do that. I'll just give you a view from all the angles, right? Okay, guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any doubts, you can just ask on the chat. And if someone doesn't have any doubt, then we can actually call it a day. So I'll just ask if there are any doubts or not.
No shit.
Okay, guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video. And next week, I'll be holding the Christmas workshop. And next weekend, Chef Anshul will be live with another delicious recipe. So you can watch that. And right, so I'll be seeing you next weekend. Bye bye.